What would I do, or what are the steps I will take if I was to become a programmer again? Now, that's an interesting question really to ask, because the pathway to becoming who I am today, I won't exactly say it was a structured one, because I had to learn a lot of things during the journey, and really get to make a lot of mistakes. Yes, I made a lot of mistakes also. I've made blunders. Yes, I've been lucky, I've been blessed, I've been opportune to meet great people and have great mentors in the field who actually walked me through the journey. But I've made mistakes. Let me give you a bit of history into what I've been doing before now. I've been programming now for almost 15 years. I'm that much. I'm that old, but I'm not old, I've been a programmer for almost 15 years now. My first app was not an Hello World app. It was literally an app written in VB6 where I put a picture and a button somewhere to say hello. I didn't know how I did it, but I did it. That was about 15 years ago. And in the following years, I started to learn to code. I added C# to the programming language. I learned QBasic specifically, and also VBasic, VB.NET, and VB6 alongside. So during those first years, I was learning a lot of things, but I think C# really stuck with me as a programming language because I just loved it. I fell in love with it. I saw it was usable for me, and then I went on. Over the years, I added Fortran, Pascal, Java, even assembly language to the stack, just as coursework in the university, of course, not as something I really wanted to spend all of my time on. Alongside learning those languages also, I was teaching them to my peers and also the younger students in the university in my school fellowship. I think that helped me to really get grounded in the fundamentals of program, because I would need to explain the concepts as in-depth as possible to these people for them to really understand and pass their exams. Teaching the programming languages I was learning then was a way for me to actually reenact the learning also for myself over and over and over again, so I could apply and solve one problem in multiple programming languages. I'm not saying go learn multiple programming languages, don't get me wrong, but I think as part of my journey, that really helped me over there. And I then decided to major on client application programming. When I say client app programming here, I mean I was writing apps for Windows Phone and Windows Desktop. I wrote an app for my school fellowship then, where it was a quiz app. And then I went on to write apps for Windows Phone. I put it in a Windows Phone store. It was there for a couple of years. One of the top apps in Nigeria at that time. Well, I've been lucky. But then Windows Phone died, so I had to find a new version. Windows Phone was dying when I actually moved on to learning Xamarin, which is a cross-platform mobile application development framework, which has now morphed into .NET multi-platform application user interface, .NET MAUI. So I moved on to learning all that, but I think during the last years of my university, discovered what DevOps was. I discovered what it meant to actually deploy software, because I was looking at the way I've been deploying my apps to the Windows Phone store, that I could not literally every single time I click publish, then manually upload my artifacts. I was looking for a way to automate that process, and I discovered there was something like OK App, Microsoft App Center. So those tools ticked my fancy then. Then I realized there was something called VSTS, although then it was called Visual Studio Online. VSTS, Visual Studio Online, then now called Azure DevOps. GitHub Actions also is there now. But then it was Visual Studio Online. I discovered I could use that to build my app and deploy to the stores with a combination of Microsoft App Center and OK App. So I learned all those things, although painful, no specific learning path for me then, but I got it working. So I wanted to do my website back then, also around 2015 thereabout, and I realized I could also still use Azure and Visual Studio Online to perform that operation. There was a web ID by Microsoft back then, I've forgotten the name now, that I was using to do that. Just commit your code and then it pushes it up to the web, and then it loads up in Azure, and then your website gets there magically. So that was DevOps for me back then. And then over the course of the years, I was teaching people, getting them excited about Azure and the cloud, And then I just continued my learning that way. Then I became a DevOps consultant. I started, walking companies through the deployment process of how to automate all this stuff. And that really stuck with me. Then I learned other things along the way. So for me, I did not have a particular pathway, but now there are a lot of pathways. I've actually published a video on, different pathways, different paths or progressions of things you need to learn to get your DevOps career started. You can check out one of the cards or video description, or check the entire playlist of this video. So that was the history for me. In this age and time where there's a lot of information, I think the first thing I will do is find a pathway, find my learning path, and then learn step by step, because my learning then was very haphazard. It was here, there, all over the place. So if I was learning to be a programmer, a DevOps engineer over again, I would have a defined pathway of things I need to learn, and then based on that pathway, I will ensure I'm grounded in the fundamentals of every single concept before I move on to the next. And as I'm learning, I'm applying those learnings, and I will also be documenting my learnings, because documentation is, I think, one thing that a lot of people lack in this industry. We don't document enough. Documentation can be in many shapes and forms. It can be in the forms of making vlogs, writing on platforms, on forums, posting on social media, X, Instagram, TikTok, you name it. So that way, as I'm learning, I'll be learning in public, so that I can get the support of the community. The sweet thing about the tech community is almost everyone is kind. There are some people who are not exactly kind, but most people in the tech industry are kind enough to be able to guide you into what needs to be done right. So I think that is it. And if I would give an advice to myself, is that if I was learning again, I should be grounded in fundamentals, because nothing can take the place of the fundamentals. Frameworks will change, platforms will change, vendors will change, might go bankrupt, might go out of market, but then your knowledge of the fundamental will never, ever go away. So get grounded in the fundamentals, and every other thing will be added onto you. That is really it. There's no two way about it. There's no negotiation about it. Once you're grounded in the fundamentals, every other thing you learn will be an additional thing on top of it, and then you can move into any other cloud platform. Tomorrow, if I decided Azure is no longer for me, I could learn AWS. The cloud concepts are the same. I could learn Google Cloud Platform. Cloud concepts are the same. I could apply my DevOps understanding in using Azure DevOps and Microsoft DevOps technology to GitHub Actions, to Circle CI, to whatever other framework or DevOps platform is available in the future. That is the beauty of getting grounded from that. I can never stress this enough. Be always grounded in the fundamentals. And I think that's pretty much it for today's video. Those are the things that I would do. Get a pathway, be grounded in the fundamentals, document your learning, and also be an active part of the community. We all grow together in this tech community. We all grow. Be an active part of a community, and then grow from there. That is where you get discovered. That is where you'll be able to shine the light and pass the baton forward, and pay the technology skills you've gained from YouTube, from Twitter, from Medium. You'll be able to pay it forward to someone else in the future. And I hope that really helped somebody today. I know it's a bit of a rant and a all over the place video, but I think it should help someone get a sort of understanding into the things that I would have done if I was starting my DevOps career all over again. And if you have questions on code, cloud, and DevOps, you know exactly what to do. You can use the link shown right now upon your screen, or scan this QR code and I'll get your questions as quickly as I can. Until I come your way yet again with another video, stay safe and goodbye.